Monday to Saturday. Okay? So in this case, yan po yung first half of the month, April, then the second half of the month. Okay, now. Sino po sa NLM, if I may ask lang, sino po yung dito yung mismo directly nag-handle ng payroll registry ng company? Yung nagpo-compute mismo ng payroll, sino po? Lahat po ba kayo yung nagpo-compute? Or meron kayo, Ma'am Au? Sa inyo, Ma'am, ikaw nagpo-compute, Ma'am?
Yes po.
So how are you computing it? Are you computing it by hand or are you computing it? May system kayo for payroll?
Wala po, Excel sheet lang din po, katulad.
Excel sheet lang yan.
Opo.
Okay, sige. So, okay. One thing I would like to emphasize, how you compute salary for daily paid and monthly paid is almost the same, except for one thing. And what is that? The starting salary for the computation. Okay? Anong pinakaiba? If you look at this, employee 1 and 3, daily paid. Employees 2 and 4, monthly paid. Okay? Pag tinignan mo, si monthly paid, napakadali. Ang starting salary niya is half-month salary. Kasi semi-monthly yung pasweldo eh. So, if you look at table number 3, employee number 2, sweldo niya 25, employee number 4, 22. So, makikita nyo dito 12, 5 at saka 11. That is for your monthly paid. Kaya si employee 1 and 3, daily paid. Okay. The formula for daily paid employee is daily rate ng empleyado multiplied by the number of paid days for the payroll period. Okay. In this case, if I look at my time logs, I look at my calendar, okay, from April 1 to 15, there are 13 paid days. No? Let me count lang. Let me try to count. No? Nakikita nyo, no? 1, Monday, Thursday, and Good Friday is included kasi that is holiday pay. So that's 3, that's 4, 5, 6, 7. Bataan Day, again, is a regular holiday. That's 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So in this case, there are 13 paid days for this period, for this payroll period. So what happens now is I just simply multiply the salary, the daily rate of the person, of employee 1 and 3 to 13. In this case, employee number 1, ang daily rate niya is 537, which is minimum wage. Si employee number 2, 550. Okay? So in this case, I multiplied, okay, 537 by 13. In this case, I multiplied 550 times 13. And you will be getting 6981 and 7150. Other than this one, there is no difference in computing the payroll for both monthly paid and daily paid employees. Okay? Wala na pong pinag-iba. You compute for OT. Okay? Then, if you add salary plus OT, tawag mo dyan total earnings. Okay? Total earnings. Then once you, palagi nyo po ang uunahin nyo yung add bago po yung subtract. So now, once you have your total earnings, let me shift lang that. Okay? Once you have your total earnings, okay, you compute for tardiness. Okay, tardiness. And you compute for absences. Okay? So you get the amount. Okay? Then you subtract. Total earnings less tardiness and absences equals gross income. Okay, gross income is the one you use for SSS. Okay? Gross income. Ito pong nasa simula, itong starting salary, yun yung tinatawag yung basic salary. Okay? Tapos ito yung tinatawag nyo ngayon, gross salary. Okay? Let me change color. Okay, ulit. Okay. If you look at your SSS table, if you're familiar with your SS table, and if you're familiar with your PhilHealth table, you know it both are monthly, right? Monthly. Kaya lang semi-monthly yung pasweldo natin. So anong gagawin natin? Sa tingin ninyo, anong ginawa ko dito? Anong gagawin natin? For those na nag-process ng payroll, anong gagawin natin? Paano natin magagamit yung SS table at saka PhilHealth table kung ang kinocompute natin semi-monthly? Eh yung table ay monthly. Anong ginagawa niyo dyan, Miss Au? Kung semi-monthly ang computation, tapos yung... Sige, ma'am.
Combination both for
Paano
that
ba?
1 month. Sa akin po kasi parang combination of gross income. Tapos, kung saan po siya mag-o-call, based dun sa table, dun po yung contribution niya mag-o-call.
So, ibig sabihin, eto ma'am, ang ginagamit nyo pa rin.
Opo.
Yung gross... Okay. Ang tawag dyan, ma'am, kung hindi nyo alam, running balance. Ang tawag po natin, that's the running balance approach. You assume first that the gross income for that semi-monthly is monthly. Kasi that's the only way you could use the table. You cannot say, divide ko by 2. Kasi there's no basis for that. Iba kasi ganun yung gagawin. Hindi. The other option, that running balance, is to simply compute for your SSS and PhilHealth contribution at the end of the month. Kasi by that time, nabuo mo na yung month. So, pwede mo na talagang gamitin yung table. The downside of doing it that way is that mas malaki yung deduction ng katapusan. Which mas magusto natin, di ba, medyo balance eh. No? So, ang tawag natin running balance. In this case, for example, 6,376.88. Okay. Sa SSS table yan, anong monthly salary credit yan? 6,376. Tingnan nyo, ano ang monthly salary niyan? Salary credit, 6,376. That is 6,500. Okay, 6,500. Okay. Get your calculator. Compute nyo 13% ng 6,500. Would you get 290,250? Can you validate? You get 290,250 for 6,500 divided by or multiplied by 13%. Can you validate? Can you check lang kung tama? Use your calculator. 290,250, correct ba? Can you validate? 6,500 times 13%. Diba? Kasi technically, 290,250 is simply 4.5% of 6,500. Okay? Can you compute?
I think 845.
That's for the 13%.
Yes
Pero
po.
4.5. Pero 4.5. So remember, 8.5 and 4.5. Okay. 6.5 times 4.5.
292.50.
So correct. So correct yun nasa table natin. So do the same thing. 12,089 is 12,000 salary credit. Get 4.5% of that. You'll get 540. 6,153 is again 6,000. Get 4.5% of that, 270 yan. Then 11,045 is 11,000 salary credit. Get 4.5% yan, 495. Okay, so that's, sabi ko nga, even without a table, you can compute it. Okay. Kaya nakikita nyo kasi this is the employee side. Kung employer side yan, ang gagamitin nyo yung 8.5. Tapos magdadagdag kayo for EC. And for EC. And in this case, MPF. So, si SSS, Mandatory Provident Fund, for in this case, wala akong ikakaltas. Remember, the rule for MPF, at least 20,000 monthly. But since nag-assume muna tayo na itong mga gross income na to ay monthly, wala. So, zero. Okay? PhilHealth is the same, right? 3%. The 6,376 is below 10,000, which is the floor, no? Floor amount. So in this case, automatically, pag 10,000, 33% is 300. And 300 yung total. So hahatiin mo to 50% employer, 50% employee. So that's 150. Okay? If you take 12,000, 89.04, above 10,000 na yan. So pwede yung i-apply yung 3%. So if you apply 3% and you divide it by 50, you'll get 187.50. And so on and so forth. Okay? So ganun siya na-confused. Okay? So ganun din yung ginamit natin, running balance. We assume, mali pala. Sorry. PhilHealth is based on basic. Sorry. So PhilHealth was not based on this one, but was based on this one. Okay? It was based on basic. Sorry nadala din ako sa gross basic. Okay? Pag-ibig is also based on basic. But in this case, madali lang. Kasi maximum is 100, right? So, pwede mong hatiin into 2. 150 ngayon, 50 next payroll. Okay? So, what you do afterward is simply, isa mo lang yung apat na yan. SSS plus SSSMPF plus PhilHealth plus pag-ibig equals total contribution. And I said earlier, your mandatory contribution is tax deductible. So in this case, gross income less total contribution equals taxable income. For your table, tax table, ang tawag mo yan, compensation level. Okay? So kung meron ka ng taxable income, pwede ka mag-compute ngayon ng tax using the tax table na pinakita ko. In this case, employee number 1, we would not compute ang kanyang withholding tax simply because he is, kung 537 ang sweldo niya per day, anong tawag sa kanya? What do you call him or her? Anyone? Anong tawag natin for isang taong sumisweldo ng 537 sa Metro Manila per day? For non-agricultural. So, anong term pong ginagamit natin pertaining for those? Okay, they are minimum wage earners. By law, and lahat ng MWE, zero ng tax. Okay? So, hindi na natin kailangan computan kasi that applies to the person. Employee number 2 kung computan natin, right? Kasi, una, hindi siya MWE. Pangalawa, ang sweldo niya ay mas mataas sa 10,417. Remember po yung semi-monthly na pinakita ko kanina? Doon sa tax table, 10,417 yung cut-off. This is more than 10,417, right? It's 11,311. So, ang formula nito is 20% above 10,417. Okay? So, in this case, ang makukuha nyo pong sagot dyan using that formula is 178.91. Okay? Employee number 3, although he is not a minimum wage earner, ang sweldo niya for a semi-monthly is below 10,417, which is also the same for employee number 4, which is 10,335. So, in those cases, hindi na rin po tayo magkukompute. Zero na po siya. Okay? So, ang rule natin, you use the table kapag hindi siya minimum wage earner and hindi ang sweldo niya ay above 10,417 kung semi-monthly. Okay? Then, 834 kapag monthly. Okay? Yun yung threshold pag tinignan nyo dun sa tax table. Okay? Tapos normally, you plug in kung may mga iba pa siyang bayarin, loans, cash advances. Mapapansin nyo sa payroll registry nyo, lahat ng additional deduction mas advisable comes after you computed the withholding tax. Why? Kasi kung uunahin nyo yung mga yan, baka inadvertently maibawas mo. Pag nabawas mo yan, it affects your taxable income. So kung mali ang taxable income mo, malaking problema kay BIR. So normally, usnahin mo na i-compute si withholding tax bago nyo i-add yung mga loans and cash advances for deduction. Okay? Then you simply add all the deduction. Total contribution plus withholding tax plus loan plus cash advance equals total deduction. Yan na, total deduction na. Okay? So yung total deduction mo, ang gagawin mo, ibabawas mo lang siya sa gross income. So gross income less total deduction equals net income for half a month, or some would call this your take-home pay. So yan na po yung mga nakikredit sa ATM natin. Okay? Yan na po yung nakikredit. Ang normal lang palaging ang normal lang po paalala for those that are computing it manually also. Make sure before you finalize, no, na-upload nyo na sa bank advice. Bakit? Kasi sa Excel, iba po yung rounding off niya. Normally, nasa 6 significant figures pag nag-round off siya. Normally, sa system ng karamihan ng bangko, pag nag-upload ka, 2 decimal places lang. So, what does it mean? Yung last digit ng total mo, pwedeng magkaiba. Ibig sabihin, pwedeng iba yung nasa CV mo, ay sa CV mo, check voucher mo, no? Doon sa yung pina-approve mo sa management. At iba din yung lalabas sa bangko na kailangan yung total niya na i-credit niya. Kasi nga, rounding off ang diferensya. Kaya ang normal na sinasabi, always check your total sa bank na pag mag-upload, na yun yung i-upload mo, i-request. With that off, yung ipapa-approve mo to management. Kasi pwedeng yung last digit is magkaiba. Eh, alam niyo naman po, pagdating sa finance, no? Pag yung last digit is also material. Okay? Let me look lang at. Wait. Okay, wait lang. Yeah. Sige. Okay. Now, let me lang show you what happened. Di ba sabi ko running balance yung ginagawa natin. Let me mention pala, lahat po ng payroll software in the Philippines na ginagawa, unless talaga may specific instruction not to do it, uses the running balance approach. Okay? Now, you would see in this, what happens using the running balance. Okay. Sa baba po, itong nasa gitna. Ito po. Okay? After the second half of the month, I took the liberty of computing the gross income for the second half of the month. Then I add gross income here, this gross income for the second half of the month. Then may 1 month gross income na ako, right? If I have 1 month gross income, I can now use correctly the SSS and PhilHealth table. For example, 13,357 is basically 13,350 sa SSS table. Okay? And if you get 13,500 sa SSS table for employee, okay, whatever the value is, okay, ang value po niyan is 60750. Okay? Kaya lang, since nakapag-deduct na po kayo ng 292.5 the first half of the month, subtract nyo lang. So, ang matitira 315. Okay, 315. And so on. Okay? Ganon din po sa PhilHealth. Okay, i-add ko po etong dalawang to, yung starting salary first half of the month, starting salary or basic salary for second half of the month. Okay? I-add ko lang siya. Tapos, makukompute ko po yung PhilHealth niya for that month, 209.43, 375, 21450, 330. Okay? So, isasubtract ko lang po siya, no? Sasubtract ko lang siya dito sa PhilHealth ko rito, I'll get this one. 59.43. Ang difference lang, magkakaroon na ako ngayon ng MPF. No? Yung mandatory provident fund. In this case, kasi 24,000 po ito, okay, 13% po. Okay? No, ng value ng 24,000, yun yung 180. Okay? Actually, hindi pala 13%, 4.5%. Sorry, employee side lang pala to. Okay? Then 22,000, 4%, ng 22,000, 90. Okay? Kasi i-add nyo lang ulit, kagaya ng ginawa natin, okay, add, okay. Siyempre, pagdating sa dulo, yung net income is your take home pay. Okay? Any question po?
May question lang.
Sige ma'am,
May
go.
question lang po dun sa computation ng yung withholding tax. So
Sige,
we
ma'am.
have to deduct first, sir, yung government contribution bago.
Yes. Yes. Ano po kasi siya, tax deductible po kasi ang mandatory benefits. So, kailangan ibawas niyo po. Kung hindi